always, Nigeria, coming at you today with another video. So to those of you who've been watching my channel, I just thank you so much for continuously supporting me and clicking on my thumbnails or my channel in general. To those of you who are new, I hope that you like the content. I hope that you like, subscribe, comment, and share. So go ahead and do that for me. Thank you. So this video is going to be a little bit different. As you know, my channel does not have like a specific theme or content. I typically do a video about whatever I feel that I want to do at the moment. So I'm going to actually break this video up into a few segments. So yes, you will see about 3 videos, maybe only 2, with the same face and same shirt because I'm recording it all at once, but I'm going to edit it into 3 different parts. And I'm sorry I'm looking down because I have my notes written down. Okay, so this video, as you can tell from the title and from the thumbnail, is about the Netflix docu-series or mini-series on Aaron Hernandez. And I don't know a lot about football, so I'm not going to pretend that I do. I do, however, remember this case, and unfortunately, things ended the way they did, but they did. So I want to touch on a few things. So I'm starting my notes from episode 2. So you know, the first episode was like, I don't know, like an hour and 45 minutes. Each episode was over an hour. It was only 3 episodes. Like I said, it was a mini series on Netflix, and of course it was on Aaron Hernandez. So just touching on Aaron Hernandez, it's honestly sad. It's very sad because this was such a talented, handsome, wealthy individual who pretty much had the world at his hands, and he was very young. So when you put all that in the hands of someone, it's sad when they don't do the right things with it, because there's people out here that are killing themselves trying to get even a snippet or like a glimpse of the life that he was afforded, you know. I mean, obviously it came from his hard work and dedication. However, there's a lot of people out here with the same drive, same hard work, same dedication, and they never catch their break. So it's just unfortunate that this individual caught his big break, and ultimately it broke him mentally. And it's unfortunate. So he had like speed, his size, and his ability to catch the ball made him a great tight end. He was I don't really know what the tight end position is, but that's the position that he played for the New England Patriots. He came from a household where the father was really strict. However, the father was a great sport player as well. His big brother was a great sports player as well. And so his father kind of molded him to be the athlete that he was, and he kind of grounded him, and he gave him the stability, and he gave him the resources to be a driven, hardworking, dedicated individual. And he pretty much didn't take any slack. So he was kind of the glue that kept Aaron mentally stable and grounded. But unfortunately, his father passed. And once his father passed, it seemed like his life kind of went downhill. I don't necessarily want to touch, well, I am going to touch on it. I'm sorry. So when he was in high school, apparently, allegedly, he had a sexual relationship with one of his teammates. The reason that I don't want to go too in depth with that is because I don't like the fact that his sexuality is being put on display, because he's not here to actually admit to that or like anything like that. And I don't really like that. I don't like the fact that they're using his alleged sexuality as a means or as a reason to have done these heinous crimes if he did, because there's a lot of gay people out here and they're not committing these crimes. So I don't like the fact that they're trying to use that as a scapegoat. You know, oh, he was sad and he was, you know, fighting against himself and he was tormented, and so that's why he snapped. I don't like that. I'm not giving that the green light. It's just not gonna work for me. But what I can say is, I honestly don't know if I believe in the series that he even had that sexual relationship. And the only reason that I'm going to say that is because out of all those other men that was on the series, and of the few that did state that they were gay, none of them besides that one individual stated that they had any type of sexual relationship with Aaron, and that they didn't even know that he had a sexual relationship with a male. They didn't even know that he even allegedly was gay. But if you're gay, typically gay people can kind of pick up a gay vibe from someone that's even in the closet. So I'm not sure if I too much believe that, because I know there's people out here who kind of wanted clout off of, you know, I don't want to say that he just wanted clout, but I kind of just don't. Me personally, I don't believe that. Now, it could very well be true. However, I just looked at the entire series. I kind of binge watched it, and I just don't see that lining up with his character, because if he was this killer and he was so afraid of other people finding out that he was down low, wouldn't you think one of the people that he would have killed would have been the person who he allegedly had this fling with? If he still was keeping in touch with all these people from his childhood, don't you think that the main person, not that this is okay, but the main person that he would have wanted to kill was the person who so-called had this like secret affair or secret fling with him? Don't you think? I mean, that's just me personally. I'm looking at it like that. Like, if he was snapping at people and shooting at people for just looking at him wrong, or because he thought that they knew too much, I think that he would have went after the person who he allegedly had slept with sexually. Or I don't know if they slept together. He just said that they had some type of sexual stuff going on. So whatever, that's neither here nor there. I'm not sure that I believe that. You can watch it and you can say or comment below and let me know if you felt that he had that going on. But me personally, I don't believe it. Anywho, he came from a sad, broken household when his father died. And the reason I say that it was broken is because he didn't have a good relationship with his mother. Now, we all know that having a relationship with your parents 100%, whether it's the father or the mother, is important. But if you don't have a good relationship with your mother, the person who actually was in labor with you, the person that actually, whether she was cut open to bring you into this world or pushed or damn near broken open to bring you into this world, then that weighs on you. Because it's like, how is it that the person who literally gave me life or helped bring my life into this world, was the vessel to bring my life into this world, how do you not have a good relationship with that person? Especially as a young man, because it's typically daddy's girls, you know, mama's boys. So I can't imagine, as a mother, I'm a mother of 3 boys and I have a daughter. I see the relationship that me and my boys have versus the relationship my daughter has with me and her father. My boys are mama's boys. They love me. They're always all over me. You know what I'm saying? They're very protective over me. My daughter, on the other hand, she's like more clingy to her father. She clings to me when he's not around, of course, and she thinks she's my little best friend, which she is, and I love having a daughter. But I look at the dynamics between my boys versus, you know, my daughter. Like, when he's around, she's clinging to him, but my boys, even though he's around, still cling to me. So it's like I said, daddy's girls, mama's boys. So I can't imagine the pain that he felt not having that relationship with his mother. And a quote from the series was, he was talking to his mom when he was locked up, and you could hear the pain in his voice where he's telling her, you know, there's so many things that I want to tell you, but I can't. And you're going to die without knowing your son. I could not imagine hearing my children, whether it's my sons or my daughter, tell me that I'm going to die without knowing them. My child, the person that I pushed into this world, the person that I nursed on my breast, the person that I bathed and stayed up with countless nights, the people that I, you know, took care of and nursed them back to health when they were sick, the people that I constantly cleaned up after and had to take here and there. To hear that from them as an adult, and they tell me that there's things that they want to tell me, but they can't, and I'm going to die without truly knowing them, that would break my heart. And that will break any good parent's heart, not just the mother's, but any good parent who loves their child. That will break their heart. And I could see the dynamics in their relationship not being good because her tone when he was locked up, and one of the things when he got his like $40 million contract or whatever, like bonus contract or something like that, she was on the phone with him. Mind you, this man is locked up at this point. So I'm skipping ahead a little bit. I'm going to go back, but I just need to touch on the dynamic of his relationship with his mother. She, while he's locked up, is angry at him because he didn't give her $1 million. She goes, yeah, and I told you to give me that. And he's like, give you what, Mom? And she's like, I told you when you got that $40 million, if you would have just gave me $1 million, I would have been set for life. I would have been straight for life. And he's like, Mom, you act like I got the $40 million. How was I going to, you know what? Fuck it. I wasn't going to give you $1 million. Like, he literally just cut it. Like, you know, he's locked up. How are you talking about something that he no longer even has access to? That's what your mind is on as his mother. You know, I get that he had done something wrong. I get it 100%. But as parents, no matter how much our children are in trouble, we're still going to love them. You know, yes, you can be angry with them. You can think of the things that you could have done differently when you were raising them. But ultimately, your love is undying and unwavering for your child, period. No matter what they've done. You may not agree with it. Of course, you won't like it. You may think that, yes, they deserve to be punished. However, your love for them is not going to be changed because your love for them is unconditional. And if you let prison change your love for them or, you know, make you not love them, then that means your love was conditional. And ultimately, I feel like her love for her child was conditional because how could you be talking about $1 million when your son is locked up for the rest of his life and he has a child out here? Like, come on now, girl. Boom. Anyway, and also his relationship was stressed out and messed up with her because of the person, I believe her name, what was her name? Her name was Tanya Singleton was his cousin. And he actually had a better relationship with her than he did with his own mother and his brother. So Tanya Singleton played a very vital role in her loyalty, her love and devotion to him. You can definitely hear from the phone calls that they were sharing while he was locked up how much they loved each other. They did. Like, she actually had breast cancer. She had her own children. Okay, mind you, she had her own children. She had breast cancer, but a vehicle that was used in a murder that Aaron Hernandez was attached to, she allowed this man to bring that car to her home. The car was found at her home, and instead of testifying against him, she pleaded the fifth. Although she knew that justice would only be served if she would have gave her testimony, she did not. They gave her prison time. That shows love and loyalty. And that's not her kid. That was her cousin. But she loved him like her child. And you could definitely tell. And that's why they had that relationship. Because they loved one another. And he was really upset with his mom because when his father passed, his mom started sleeping with his cousin's husband. Like, how messy and Jerry Springer, how much more Jerry Springer could it get? Your husband died and you start sleeping with your cousin's husband. Come on now, sis. You real extra. All these men out here and you gonna sleep with your family's man? Boom, girl. That's why your son did not like you. I'm just gonna lay it out there. She was not liked by him. And you can tell that a lot. I do think that he had a good relationship, or at least a decent relationship with his brother, because you can tell in the audio recordings, his brother really cared about him. He cared about his well-being, not necessarily his notoriety and his fame. He actually cared about his brother. He cared about his brother's peace, his happiness, and he ultimately wanted his brother to be away from the neighborhood because he felt that that is what contributed towards his reckless behavior. So he honestly wanted his brother away. And I get that, you know, as a older sibling, you obviously want the best for your younger siblings. You know, you're more protective over them than you are of your older siblings. So I get that. Yeah, so unfortunately, he didn't come back. I don't want to say, he didn't come from like a poor household. I mean, he wasn't rich, but the high school he went to was nice. So I can't say that he came from like this horrible, beat up, fucked up ass neighborhood and that contributed towards the behaviors that he displayed. I feel personally that his father was the one thing that kept him not necessarily sane, but kept him on the straight and narrow, because he knew that his father wasn't for the bullshit. So when his father was alive, he behaved accordingly. But when his father passed, I believe that is what kind of unraveled him. And that's where it gets bad, because that's when he went off to college. He didn't go to the college that he was supposed to be going to, or that he agreed to go to with his big brother. He decided to take his damn life elsewhere and decided to go to, where did this school go? He went to Gainesville, Florida. Okay. He had to start his life. He didn't have to. He chose to start his life there. He got his girlfriend, or, you know, she became his fiance, and they packed up and they moved. So I'm going to touch on that because this is when things started to get juicy. And I don't want to say juicy like good, but they started to become more detailed, because the first half was more so like, it was talking about a murder, but then it went sort of into like his home life and his background and things like that. And I believe a lot of his problems started once he went off to college, because he no longer had that straight and narrow act that he had to follow when his father was alive. And now he was away from everyone and everything that he actually knew and that knew him. So he could put on a persona and just be whoever the hell he wanted to be, because no one knew him. So he could create this whole other Aaron Hernandez, this whole other side, because no one who was going to question it. No one knew his ass. So I'm going to let you guys go for this half. So go ahead and click on segment 2, which I will be recording right now.